This welcome session was recorded January 28, 2021 during the opening of the 2021 Human Trafficking Awareness Day and Research Consortium. This is the 13th year for the Human Trafficking Awareness Day and the first incorporation of a human trafficking component focused on interdisciplinary research. This two-day event is presented in collaboration by the UCF Center for Public and Nonprofit Management, United Abolitionists, Paving the Way Foundation, and Valencia College Downtown. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Central Florida and the world. We have folks joining us from literally every continent around the world today, and we're very grateful to be hosting this event from downtown Orlando, Florida at the UCF campus, which is relatively new. We are pleased to be hosting this event not only physically here in a socially distanced way with minimal space, but also online via Zoom and Eventbrite. We are also here at this UCF campus downtown with Valencia College, who's also partnering in this event. And we're grateful for Paving the Way Foundation, United Abolitionists, and Downtown Valencia for helping this come together, this 13th annual Human Trafficking Awareness Day. Safety and etiquette for folks that are downtown today and tomorrow, please observe COVID-19 safety and social distancing protocols. Whether here or on campus or Zoom and live stream, please be respectful. The Zoom chat will be monitored. So if you have questions, please use the Zoom medium. And we'll get to however many we can during the panels as best we can, simply because there's a very large and broad audience and people from all over the world. So if your question isn't heard, we'll catalog it and see if we can follow up after the conference. Thank you for your patience in that. And we are really looking forward to hearing what you guys get out of this conference and its panels. Also, for folks that are downtown, please ensure social distance, use elbow bump protocols, and socially distanced high fives are accepted and the standard as well. Please keep your face mask on at all times while on campus, covering both your mouth and nose at all times, unless you're at a podium. But otherwise, please keep your mask on. Please take full advantage of many of the hand washing facilities or stations we have here on campus as well. Again, safety is paramount, and we want to make sure that no one leaves this event any unhealthier than they did when they came in. So that's a priority for us. Also, please be sure, if you're downtown, to use the COVID-19 app or the UCF website to report that you were downtown and that you have no symptoms. Also, in the programs, please be sure to access your session panels via Zoom. And if the rooms fill up, please know that overflow will be streamed via YouTube through our Center for Public and Nonprofit Management page. Also, everyone that registered via Eventbrite should have received an easy panel that has both the Zoom access and the Eventbrite links all on one page with a sequence flow and the title of the panels themselves. So hopefully everything is very accessible. We do have a help desk if you have issues, and she'll have access to give you quick links if you need them, but hopefully we expect everything to be smooth. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Dr. Deborah Carroll, the director of the UCF Center for Public and Nonprofit Management. Dr. Carroll.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today. Established in 2008, the Center for Public and Nonprofit Management within the School of Public Administration at the University of Central Florida improves policy and governance in partnership with communities from Central Florida and worldwide to positively and collectively impact society through research and community engagement. The center accomplishes this mission by facilitating and supporting sponsored research on policy and management, and by leading public service projects that inclusively enhance lives and strengthen communities. The Human Trafficking Research Consortium, being held on our beautiful UCF downtown campus, is just one reflection of a new and inspiring partnership between our center and the United Abolitionists. However, this exciting relationship is one that I cannot take personal credit for. Early last year, Justin Miller, our center's assistant director, saw the problem of human trafficking as one of great importance for the Central Florida region, and also a topic for which there are many synergies across campus and within our downtown community that would allow us to have meaningful and sustained impact as scholars of public administration and as government and nonprofit practitioners. So this event is truly the culmination of more than a year of coordination, planning, and lots of hard work. And Justin deserves much of the credit for bringing this vision to fruition. Of course, we are grateful to have Tomas Lars and the United Abolitionist Board as partners in this new human trafficking research initiative, which we believe has the potential to develop into a highly impactful research institute for our center that approaches the human trafficking problem from a holistic perspective that incorporates the varied expertise of our school's faculty, including the broad areas of public policy, public administration, nonprofit management, emergency management, urban and regional planning, research administration, and of course, social justice. We look forward to the discourse and exchange of ideas that will come from this conference today and tomorrow, and we are grateful for the opportunity to continue working toward better solutions to this complex problem and its many underlying challenges, including victim service operations, LGBTQ issues, and violence against women, all in an effort to improve the lives of individuals living within our community and beyond. We hope you find the conference sessions informative and valuable as we all work together to put an end to human trafficking for once and all. Thank you. I would like to now introduce Associate Professor in the School of Public Administration, Dr. Akeem Siddiq.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abdul Akeem Siddiq. I'm an associate professor and the Director of Master of Public Administration and Master of Public Policy Programs at the School of Public Administration. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you all from around the globe to this momentous occasion. It is my pleasure to be part of this amazing conference. Indeed, I am excited to be leading the Human Trafficking Initiative along with a passionate, intelligent, and wonderful group of researchers and students from the School of Public Administration and the Center for Public and Nonprofit Management. Our team is thrilled to be partnering with United Abolitionists to pursue important research on human trafficking. One of the goals of this significant partnership is to develop research that will improve society's understanding of human trafficking and provide evidence-based research to inform human trafficking policies. In just 9 months, during the pandemic, we were busy. During that period, we built an incredible team which submitted a proposal to the National Science Foundation and developed and administered a survey to assess the impact of COVID-19 on service delivery to victims and survivors of human trafficking within the Central Florida region. In addition, this team attended several conferences on human trafficking, and we are currently working on multiple peer-reviewed journal articles on human trafficking. No doubt, human trafficking is truly a wicked problem, and it will take a collaborative mindset to defeat it. This is why we are working tirelessly to build a multidisciplinary team of researchers, practitioners, students, and community partners at the local, national, and global levels to establish an institute in the Center for Public and Nonprofit Management within the School of Public Administration. The institute will serve as a springboard to mount a united front against human trafficking through basic research as well as applied innovative research. With the support of our community partners and all of you, we are certain this dream will become reality. I look forward to interacting with all of you. Please enjoy the conference, and thank you. I'd like to introduce Maritza Concha, who's also part of the research team here at UCF. Thank you.
Well, welcome to the conference and bienvenidos todos. And my name is Maritza Concha. I'm a lecturer at the School of Public Administration here at UCF. And I'm glad to be part of this conference and very excited to collaborate with all these wonderful people here. Here at UCF, the Center for Public and Nonprofit Management and the School of Public Administration, we are delighted to see members of our community, as well as national nonprofits and international NGOs, together with the ultimate goal of combating human trafficking. Let's take this opportunity to use this space, either virtually or in person, to establish new connections and to reconnect with colleagues, to identify new ideas, to share knowledge and best practices and resources about different aspects of human trafficking. On a personal note, I have worked for several years as a prone evaluator for human trafficking prevention and victim services organizations in Miami, Florida. I can share that with all of you that human trafficking is a topic that has touched my heart. Talking to victims and understanding their needs without re-traumatizing them is indeed a challenge for any researcher. However, making their voices heard is necessary because they are the ones who really know what services work best and what requires further improvement. As community members, scholars, researchers, and practitioners, we need to find best ways to engage our community and to monitor and evaluate program performance and impact for reducing human trafficking in our cities. During the conference, let's engage in productive dialogue, but also practice good listening. It is my personal belief that when we listen in detail, we most understand each other, specifically during these difficult times. Welcome again to the conference, and I look forward for building stronger relationships with the United Abolitionists and to build new collaborative relationships with the community, both locally and abroad. Thank you. And I would like to introduce, thanks, Tomás Lares from the United Abolitionists. And then,
Thank you, Dr. Concha, for that wonderful introduction, and for all the other faculty, Dr. Carroll, Dr. Akeem, and just the wonderful staff, Justin. I just want to acknowledge you as we begin this morning and at the launch of our conference. It was 13 years ago this month that we had our first annual Human Trafficking Awareness Day here in downtown Orlando at the beautiful Lake Eola. And since then, literally tens of thousands of Central Floridians and beyond have been educated and have been equipped. Many have come and have told me throughout these years that they came to that one of the awareness days, and that's where they found out about human trafficking or were inspired to do something more. And so it is a great honor to have the 13th annual here at UCF Valencia in downtown Orlando. And this year we are expanded to have 2 days. Usually it's 1 day, and a global audience, thankfully, because of our technology. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Sandy Shugart, who has been a partner in the fight against trafficking for so many years. His wife, Jane Shugart, is our backpack coordinator, and many of you have law enforcement, first responders, child welfare here in Central Florida are recipients of the rescue backpacks for victims of human trafficking. So thank you, Dr. Shugart, for your partnership. Also, we're going to take you on a journey in these next 2 days, and you're going to see where we are in the fight against human trafficking. Here in Central Florida, definitely, but also beyond. We have 11 panels. We have also a session this afternoon by Dr. Potter from the Center of Modern Day Slavery and Human Trafficking at UCF. We also have a presentation by Jessica Wicke from the Rosen School of Hospitality, where we launched last summer a program for the students, the future hospitality leaders on human trafficking. We also will have a wonderful film festival that my colleague Jan Edwards initiated 4 years ago. And we have films that have been submitted from all over the world. And some of the producers, directors will be with us tomorrow. So please don't miss that. This year, newly, is our art gallery. We have over 12 art pieces. And you're going to see a video this morning of our art coordinator, Brooke Hill. And we're so just proud of her efforts to spread awareness through art. And last but not least, I just want to encourage everyone who is watching or who will see this, this broadcast to do something about human trafficking. You know, we believe in the power of collaboration, and we cannot do it alone. We all have heard it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes an army of people dedicated to end modern day slavery. One of those modern day abolitionists is my colleague, Jan Edwards, who I want to introduce this morning from Paving the Way Foundation. So Jan is, she's on the prevention end of trafficking. We know that many survivors of trafficking, that trauma, those scars will last a lifetime. And if we can prevent it from happening and disrupt that cycle, like Jan says, then we can do something to prevent our young people from being preyed, from being recruited and groomed. This afternoon too, before Jan comes, I just want to mention, during COVID-19, it's been a very challenging year. And you're going to hear a panel this afternoon on the impact that COVID-19 has had on the anti-trafficking movement. My colleagues from MIT, Harvard, IBM, the Future Society in Paris will be sharing via Zoom on the research that has been done globally on how COVID has changed the fight against human trafficking. So this time, Jan Edwards, if you would please come and do what you do.
Good morning or good afternoon, depending on what part of the world you're in. These are some interesting times, aren't they? So many things to say. So I want to acknowledge Justin. I know that everybody, but seriously, the technology that has to occur for this to happen, unbelievable. And you are just a rock star. And whether there were people in this room or not, globally, having partners in the community make all the difference in the world. And my wonder twin, Tomas, we have been partners for the past 7 years. And because he's on the backside, I'm on the front side of this battle. I'm like, Switzerland, there's not a whole lot of people that do what I do. You know, it really makes a great partnership. And because we've got some extraordinary business experience together, really Central Florida, it's the thing that I really want the world to understand. Central Florida, there is really Arizona's catching up. My friend Kathleen Wynn is here from Arizona. But Central Florida has the most unique group of human beings that fight this battle together. And that's really what makes this extraordinary. You know, we all know each other well. And if something happens, I mean, it's a text, it's a phone call. It does not matter what time of the day, it gets handled. And when I have calls about, oh, my daughter's missing, I think she's in whatever state, and I call that state, they don't have what we have. So we really are building a model for what this looks like here and around the globe. And having this kind of platform, as challenging as it is, really has things work. So there's several people that have flown in and joined us today. And I really, I want to acknowledge Noel Thomas and Samuel Corrett from Zero Trafficking. They flew in today. Kathleen Wynn flew in today or last night. And Ben Hess, who is the producer and director of photography of the winning film Maggie for our film festival, flew in from Colorado for less than 24 hours to be at our award ceremony last night. So that's the kind of reach that we've got inside this conversation, which is really, really cool. And some of you do know what we do, some of you may not. So our mission is solely one thing and one thing only, and that's to disrupt the cycle of child trafficking through education and training. Since 2017, we've educated over 14,000 children here in Central Florida and literally around the country. And that's what we're committed to. And if you talk to really any survivor warrior, they will say, I wish someone had had that conversation with me then. We specialize, like my sweet spot is middle school, in particular Title I middle school. And I'm really excited about partnering with Maritza as we're going to create a really cool game for the youth to play too. So I'm super excited about what's possible. And, you know, today is unique in that we really do have people from around the globe tuning in. We've got police officers from around the world tuning in this morning. We'll have vice units and people from Homeland Security tuning in later on this afternoon. And really, this is a global fight, and it's just time. It's time that this goes down. And there's a really great panel that we've got later on this afternoon about outreach and advocacy and legislation. We're about to step into a legislative session, unprecedented, never happened before, right? So now is the time for us to understand what we can do as people, because our voices can make the difference. We're the ones, and I invite each and every one of you to take notes, reach out to the speakers. I think everybody's on LinkedIn. If you've got questions, I know Justin and his team will handle it, but really it's about us operating as a unit to take this stuff down. And I'm just grateful for your partnership and your friendship. And I'm going to bring Tomas and Justin back up so they can finish any housekeeping they need to finish. And let's go save the world. Though I didn't touch anything, I'll still do this.
Thank you, Jen, and thank you everyone else for those kind words. But you know, this is Tomas's show. He's been doing it for 13 years, and we're glad to support. It's a important mission across the realm, whether it's sexual trafficking or labor trafficking or being a prior military guy. The war aspect of this, human trafficking contributes to wars, whether it's children being forced to fight or folks being smuggled in from other countries to fight other people's wars. So human trafficking is a wicked problem. And I am so grateful that we are all here together to knock this thing out. And this is the beginning of something that is going to be significant, I think. For folks on Zoom or YouTube, I'd like to say thank you again for joining us. Everyone should have an email with a PDF attachment that should allow you to seamlessly move from panel to panel. You don't have to wear your mask at home unless you really want to. But when you go out and about, think about other folks. And this is an opportunity to make a difference in many ways, because we're, wear a mask, wash your hands, and socially distance. Without further ado, we will end this meeting and transition into our first panels of the day. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you throughout today and tomorrow.